Okay, so I got a few new books for Christmas, but I realized that there were a lot of books. We have a bookshelf here and we have a bookshelf over there. And I realized there were books on there that I hadn't read at all. So what I did was I went through and I piled up everything that I hadn't read. These are all nonfiction, all piled up here. And technically I have read this book, but it's been years and I want to read it again. And then, so I right now have all of the nonfiction spread out on the table, and I'm trying to figure out which order to put them in. And I guess I'm just going to have to go in alphabetical order. I don't know which other way to do it. If I put it in order of what I really want to read at the top, then I might not ever get to the ones on the bottom. And then I have some books that I'm not sure if they're fiction or not. Like this one right here is one of those My Name is America books. And I think that it's nonfiction, but however, it's written as a journal of this man, Biddy Owens. And I think that it's probably nonfiction in that I don't think he actually had a diary that they kept. But I don't know how to find that out. I guess I can Google it. There's a couple more that are like that, and so I just picked and decided. This one right here, it's truthful things that happened in 1805, but it's not his actual diary, again. So, while some of the things I'm sure actually happened to somebody, I don't think that all of the things happened to him. So, I'm not sure, though. It could have. So, this might be nonfiction also. It doesn't say... Books don't tell you if they're fiction or if they're nonfiction, which I am just now realizing. Anyway, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick these and say these are all fiction, and and then I'm going to read them based on author. This is actually the one I want to read first, and that's funny because his last name is Alexi, so he might actually be my first. But it says the absolute true diary of a part-time Indian, but I know that it's not completely true. It is his life, but it's a fictionalized version of his life. I do know that one because I've heard his interview, and I used to listen to his podcast, but he doesn't do it anymore. Anyway, so I'm going to put all these in order, and then once I get them sorted, I'll show you what they all look like and what I'll be reading, at least at the beginning of this year. Okay. So here's all of my nonfiction, and I have them in alphabetical order. I don't know why it won't focus. There we go. And so it goes from A to W. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then over here are my nonfiction. There's a lot more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's 23 of these, so there's 10 more of these than there are of these. And the plan is that I'm going to start over here with these, and if there is one of these small books, because there's quite a few, like tiny little books, so if it's a small book, I'm going to read 2 in a row before I move over to my fiction. So I'm going to be starting with this one, Red, White, Blue, and Uncle Who. The stories behind some of America's patriotic symbols. So one of my friends gave this to me and the boys, I think a couple of years ago, actually. And we had planned to read over some of it during school, and we just never did. Then that will be followed by my brand new book that I just ordered, called The Minimalist Home, a room-by-room guide to a decluttered, refocused life. And this, I want to do a YouTube video series about this as we go through each room in our house. So we've tried to minimalize our clutter anyway, but you can see, first of all, Ron just got that gift and that gift, so they're not going to stay there. They're just sitting there. But this thing right here is filled up with things, and there's another one on the other side that has things. So we've got the bookshelves that all have things. So you're going to go through with me. We're going to go through step by step in my home, trying to minimalize the things that we have. We move around a lot, and I just would like to not feel cluttered. I would like to be able to dust without completely having to take everything off. I just want it to be minimal. So I'm excited about this one. and it won't take me long to get to that one. This one's going to be first, and then that one, and then right after that will be The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, which I'm excited about reading as well. I got it because one of my friend's daughters is reading this in her 9th grade class right now, in her 9th grade English class. And because I knew Sherman Alexie from his poetry and some of his other stuff, I thought I really need to read this. He was raised on one of the reservations. I think it was in Washington State. I'm going to find out when I read it. So I just want to read it and get his perspective. And that's it. And then we'll switch back over here to the next nonfiction, then the next fiction, and I'll just go back and forth, and I will update as I finish. I'll do reviews on them. So that's it. I'm excited about 2019 reading. Okay, what I forgot to say was I have these 2 books about personality types. They're both about the Enneagram, and I've actually already read both of them. But this right here, The Wisdom of the Enneagram, it has like step-by-step things that you can work on depending on what your number is to kind of move into a healthier space than where you currently are. And so I want to go back and take notes on that and read over that section. Even though I've already read the book, I want to go back and read it. And in between my fiction, or my nonfiction and fiction and nonfiction back and forth, I'm going to read these 3, just one section of them. This one is Fox's Christian Martyrs. So I'm just going to read one short little passage about a martyr. And then this one is 50 People Every Christian Should Know. I've had this for a while too. So I'm just going to read about one person. And then I'll put that away. And then this is Heroes in Black History. And so I'm going to read, it says True Stories from the Lives of Christian Heroes. So then I'm going to go in order, whatever the first person is, whoever the first person is they talk about in here, I'm going to read that. So in between my books, I'm just going to read one little section in each one of these books about these people, and then I'll move on to my next book. And that's all.